So you've written books for children.
Yeah, I mean, it's teenagers actually, but I've written a book.
Okay.
I've written some children's books and illustrated them as well.
So there's a book called The Empty
The
Torah.
Empty Torah. So the Empty Torah is based on the Megillat Siracusa, and that story is about when the king would come to the village to show honor to him. They would bring out the Sifrei Torah and they would parade them in front of him.
Okay.
But actually, one year the sages decided that he shouldn't get that honor because he's just a non-Jewish king. So we're not going to put the Torah. We're just going to take the empty cases, the tick, or you say teak, tick, which is this upright thing, which is what I read from in our synagogue because it's a Sephardi community.
So wait, that's important. We should explain that. So today, most Torah scrolls that we see,
they're wrapped in
velvet. But in the Sephardic world, they're put in what's called a teak or a tick or Yemenite, and that's a wooden box.
It's a wooden box.
Yeah.
Often with sort of silver and gold and other things on it, but it can just be a plain wooden box. It's nice.
So they brought
out empty ones, right?
Okay.
And there was a guy who converted, and he knew that they were faking it, basically, and he told the king, and so the king got really angry, and he came unexpected to the village.
Okay.
But the prophet Elijah had come to the warden of the synagogue the night before, and he told him to fill the cases of the Torah, and he'd sort of sleepwalk to the...
So I got to stop you here. This isn't a story you made up, right?
No, this is an actual Megillah.
A medieval document.
This is a Megillah. So there are Purim Ketanim, small Purims. There are many, many different scrolls that have been written by different communities when Jews have been saved from persecution.
Okay, and this is something in Syracuse,
Sicily or something?
Sicily.
So in fact, in Sicily, they've brought this back as a tradition, and they now read a Megillah.
And this is what, a few hundred years old or something?
Yeah, and they read the Megillah at Syracuse.
So as far as we know, it's a story that actually happened a few hundred, like 500-600 years ago or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So Elijah comes.
Maybe Elijah was not in it, but if Elijah came anyway. In some way,
the way they told the
story,
Elijah was in it.
In the story, they
I got to stop you there. So you didn't add the Elijah part. That's actually Megillat Siracusa.
Yeah.
Okay, so they claimed Elijah came.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
So in effect, they claim that Elijah came and he basically told the beadle of the synagogue, the warden, to fill them. So when the king came, he said, "I would like to see this Torah of Moses.
Yeah.
Could you open them for me?" And he's got all these soldiers are heavily armed soldiers around.
Gotcha.
And the converted guy who's turncoat, he's going, I've got them now. And they're all petrified. They're absolutely scared, livid, because they don't know that it's been changed over. Anyway, so he opens one, and there's a scroll inside, and everyone goes. And then he opens another one, and there's a scroll.
So the congregation doesn't know that Elijah warned the Gabbai or whoever, the deacon, okay.
And so and he's done this in his sleep, so he's not aware of it either.
Oh,
right. And everybody opens the things, and scroll after scroll, they're there, and it's a miracle, and everybody's safe, and the king is happy, and the other guy gets hanged. So
wow! So they had some kind of annual celebration about this,
and then they put an annual celebration
in Sicily.
And there are many, many of those.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Mitzrayim, there's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. What's Megillat Mitzrayim? Do you know that story?
Another time.
Okay.
But there's.
So you wrote a book telling over this story from the Middle Ages.
And what I did is I did an illustration on the front that was in sort of 15th century style of illuminated manuscripts, and then I did pretend woodcuts inside to sort of tell the story, and it was just nice. And eventually I will actually do a kind of critical edition of it because there are different versions of it flying around.